Hi, friends. So, what is an abundance mindset? Like, what does that even mean? Especially while we're in these very scarce feeling moments. People are feeling like they need to conserve resources. Like, there's a lot of scarcity, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty. And so that makes us feel scarce. That makes us feel like we don't have enough or a lot or enough is the right word. So, what is an abundance mindset and what does that mean for the time we are in now? Abundance is like definition, it's to have enough. So, it's to have enough in the new agey law of attraction, like meaning it's to have enough, to feel as if you have enough. Let's do it by demonstrating what a scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset means that you feel like you don't have enough, like there isn't enough to go around, there isn't enough for you, or there isn't enough for you and others. It's kind of like the me or them instead of me and them mindset. So abundance mindset would be there's enough for me and there's enough for everybody. And there's enough for me to have enough and everyone else to have enough too. So that's an abundant mindset. An abundant mindset is that there's enough for all. Scarcity mindset is that there's not enough for everybody. And so some people get some and some people don't. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to be one of the ones that gets some, or I'm never going to be the ones that get enough. There's always someone else that gets enough, but it's not me. So that's kind of what it is. So I want to give a few examples of how this plays out, because we don't even realize that we've been trained to think in a scarcity mindset. Very few of us, unless you were raised in an affluent family or you had some very self-aware people in your upbringing, we're all raised, we're all domesticated, so to speak, to think in a scarcity mindset. And so what that means, like, for example, I don't know anyone that hasn't had this experience in their upbringing, is someone told you to take a safe job because the money, it was a safer job because of the financial resources, and it didn't matter whether you loved it or liked it or not, like go for the safe job. So that's a scarcity mindset. That's the idea that there isn't enough money to go around. There isn't enough money in whatever your preferred industry or career would be. There isn't enough. And therefore, to make yourself safe, you need to go somewhere else. You need to do something else because there isn't enough. So that's a scarcity mindset. Another scarcity mindset is I'm always looking for a deal. I'm always looking for a deal because I don't have enough resources to pay the full price of something. So that's not the same as I don't want to get ripped off. Nobody wants to be abused. This even means financially. Nobody wants to over exchange their energy. They don't want to give more than they're receiving. That's not a scarcity mindset. That's also just like honoring yourself and honoring your boundaries. But the scarcity comes in when I don't want to pay a fair price for something. I just want to pay less, even if the quality of what I'm receiving is less. To me, paying less feels like I'm getting more. Abundance mindset, and this is especially as being a small business owner and a manager of another small business, is I want to pay a fair price for a valued product. I want to pay a fair price for something of value because somebody made that. Someone put that together. Me paying that fair price helps put food on the table, especially for small businesses. Like, I'm being more deliberate in where I'm spending my money, even if I'm paying a little bit more for a valuable product, because I'm choosing where I'm spending my resources more deliberately. I would rather buy something that's a little more expensive from a small business or a local business, knowing I'm supporting small or local businesses, than get something cheap and of lower quality, not always, but sometimes of lower quality from a mass produced or a big corporation. So to me, the value of what I'm getting, I want to pay a fair price for that. And that's an abundant mindset because there's enough. I have enough to share, and there's enough for me to give. Abundance mindset is also things like donating, like donating to your favorite nonprofit or a charity or an intuitive that you like or whatever. A lot of them are taking donations, a lot of us. donating to a cause you appreciate, or donating your time. It doesn't even have to be financial, but donating your time because you have enough of it to share. Donating the things you like to get rid of, like that's an abundance mindset, getting because you have enough or you have more than enough. And so what's another scarcity mindset? There's things when it gets into relationships too, as in somebody only has so much love that they can give. And so scarcity mindset is like if you don't want to share your partner or your friends with other people, it's because you think that their battery or their quantity of love that they have to offer is limited. And so there isn't enough for everybody to have. And so that's a scarcity mindset. You can have a scarcity mindset in terms of relationships, love, friendship, joy, those types of things. You can also have an abundant mindset where I know my partner has enough love to give to me and all of his friends and all of everybody, that there is enough space in the heart. And so basically what it comes down to is like the two mantras is like there is enough or there is not enough. There are enough people that will buy my product, that will buy my services, or there are not enough people. I have more than enough or I don't have enough. I am enough or I'm not enough. So this applies to everything, but that's kind of the root of the scarcity and abundance mindset. So if you're trying to distinguish if you're operating in a scarcity or an abundance mindset, that's kind of the question to fall back on is this belief rooted in I am enough or there is enough, or is it rooted in I am not enough and there is not enough? There's not enough available. There's not enough to go around. There's not enough accessible. There's not enough whatever. And so if you want to boil that down even further, and this is the ultimate question is, am I operating in a space of love or am I operating in a space of fear? And so if you're operating in a space of love, that's also an abundance mindset. There is enough love. There is enough to go for everybody. There's enough for me to have some and for you to have some. That is not a fear-based mindset. A fear-based mindset is I can't have mine and you have yours too, or you can only have yours and I can't have enough, or whatever. It's an either or situation rather than an and or an inclusion. And so a scarcity mindset, if you think everything's on a spectrum, basically. So especially anything when it comes to energetic terms is pretty much on a spectrum of frequencies, and like love, abundance, gratitude, all of that is one frequency. Fear, scarcity, ingratitude, or what would be the opposite of gratitude? Like taking something for granted, not appreciating something, not valuing something. Those are kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. And so ways to get yourself into abundance mindset is gratitude is like one of the ultimate ways. I know I always talk about gratitude because it's really that important. So if you can find gratitude for what you have already, you are saying that what you have is enough. And that's why gratitude is connected to an abundance mindset. Gratitude, unconditional love, all of that's kind of in the same, like more close frequencies. It's on the same end of the spectrum. And gratitude will get you closer to that divine love, that sense of oneness, that sense of abundance and enoughness. And so if you're not grateful for what you have, there's this innate meaning that it's not enough, that you don't value it, and that it's not worthwhile. So if you're not grateful for your car because you want a nicer car, like you're not grateful for your car, it's not enough. Like it's a scarcity mindset where what I have isn't enough, versus recognizing all of the positive traits and how it is enough, how having a car just in and of itself is enough, rather than what the imaginary status or the pretend status is that all this made up stuff about nice cars gives you. So that's the thing. So gratitude is one of those very simple and easy steps to start putting yourself into an abundance mindset. And then the second thing is to ask yourself, like, is this belief, is what I'm feeling, is what I'm afraid of, is this thing coming from the place of the idea, the concept, the belief of, is this enough? Do I have enough? Do I have enough to share? Do I have enough to give? Do I have enough to go around? Or do I feel that there's not enough? So those are a couple of things. And then one of the biggest things understanding is abundance has a lot to do with flow. So scarcity has to do with holding on. You want to clench because there isn't enough, so you don't want to let go. Or you don't want to share, or you don't want to give, or you don't want to output. You feel like you can only take in because there isn't enough. You don't know if you'll get more, so you don't want to put out. Whereas abundance mindset is more of the scarcity is like this. Abundance is like this, where you're open to receive and you're open to give. And so abundance it's very much about the flow of input and output. So when you're buying things that you value, that you actually appreciate, that you are buying in an abundant mindset, you're doing it from the place of gratitude. So it's not like you're spending frivolously and you're buying all the shit you don't need. Like, that's not what it is. But when you buy something that's very intentional and the value is there and you're creating a flow because there is enough to go around. I know I can buy this, that I have enough, and that I deserve to have enough and to feel I have enough and to be able to enjoy what abundance offers me, which means material comfort, material enjoyment, or it means like financial comfort or security or whatever that means for you. So abundance is about flow and scarcity is about holding on and like stagnation, which is also why scarcity, like a stagnation mindset, a holding on to mindset, a clinging is not the environment for growth. So growth, evolution only exists in like flowing, in discomfort, in opening up. You can't grow. A seed can't grow if you put something on top of the soil. That's kind of what it is. You have to release that. And so it can actually poke its little leaves out of the soil. So being in this flow mindset of abundance is very much the input output and like a sense of gratitude. Also being grateful that you have enough, and also giving, like being generous is very much in the abundance frequency. So hopefully that's like kind of a helpful understanding of what an abundance mindset is. And the last thing I'd like to illuminate is there's nobody on this earth that has to be exempt from having abundance. And I mean in all sense of the terms, abundance of love, an abundance of joy, an abundance of health, an abundance of material security, of I don't know, physical security, whatever. There's no one on this earth that is exempt from being in an abundance mindset, but we have been domesticated, we have been trained to believe that we are not worthy, or that is impossible, or that is something out of our reach, or it's for some people but not others. Scarcity mindset. It's for them but not me. Either or, not and. Not all of us. Not as in they can have abundance and I can too. That them having abundance proves that it's possible for me to have abundance because they exist. That's an abundant mindset. Scarcity is the thing that puts blocks and limitations on you. Abundance removes the limitations. And so there's no reason, except for your beliefs, except for your own personally set limitations and like these agreements, these beliefs that have been handed down to us from the people that raised us and from our experiences and our culture and blah, blah, blah. All these ideas and concepts that have been handed down to us that we can't have abundance, that we're not worthy of abundance, that it's not for us. Those are the only limitations to manifesting, creating, to taking the action steps and being in the frequency of abundance. So abundance is not just doing, and it's not just embodying. You can't like, I'm manifesting $1 million and then never buy a lottery ticket. And you can't, well, you can just buy a lottery ticket and get lucky, I guess, but you can't just get the job without really putting the work into your resume. And you can't get the job if you don't ever turn in your resume, you know? So the intention and the frequency and your belief system behind your actions are really important too, because let's say you're making a lot of money. Like there are millionaires that have a scarcity mindset. The quantity of dollars that you have has nothing to do with abundance or scarcity. There's people that would be considered middle class or even like middle lower class that have a far more abundant mindset and have a much more freeing lifestyle. than people that are overwhelmed with like just the dollar signs and creating a lifestyle that traps them. And so stuff, if you don't use it, if you don't value it, if you're not using your stuff to its highest value that benefits your lifestyle, it's using you. And so the stuff isn't helpful at that point. It's just a weight, you know? So abundance mindset is not about the quantity of dollars. It's more about the quality of your lifestyle as a whole, and having a financial flow that doesn't limit that frees you to be in abundance of love, of joy, of fun, of adventure, of connection, of community, of bliss, of whatever, of all those things and more. So abundance versus scarcity, abundance and scarcity, abundance mindset. But yeah, so it's important to be aware of where our belief systems are originating from, because it's not about the quantity of dollars you have or how much you're actually spending. Like, you can have a lot of money and still be in a totally scarcity lack mindset. And so it doesn't really feel like you have a lot of money. It doesn't really feel like financial freedom if you have $1 million and you're just terrified of losing it. Like, that doesn't sound like freedom. That doesn't sound like you have enough then. That doesn't sound like abundance. What sounds like abundance is you being in a flow, putting yourself in a position that you have the freedom of this flowing in, and you can enjoy and create abundance with your flowing out. And not just for you, but an abundance that ripples out to others, like supporting other people, creating abundance for themselves. So that's it for now. Abundance and scarcity. Let me know your thoughts. My name is Caroline. I'm here to help. I'm an ascension guide. And yeah, check out my website, carosoul.com, carosoul.com, and enjoy your day. Be well, my friends.